Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Cake Radio Recap. I'm the CakeDive, and today we're going to be reviewing Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 16, Episode 2, and giving my thoughts on that. So, I've been doing the recap series for Season 16, did Episode 1, a little bit late. I'm trying to do a little bit better doing the recaps. And it should be a little bit easier now since the first episode was obviously like an hour long. Had to get y'all into it, sinking teeth into things. And now we're off to the races. 25 minutes an episode, and the tea is hot. So, the episode kicks off as a continuation of the first episode. We're still at Shamia's dinner, birthday dinner. And Portia is asking Drew, like, oh, are you sleeping with Dennis? Are you is this like is like what how did this happen? Because you were not really talking to me about like this work relationship and stuff like that. And Portia was like starting off, Portia was chill. She was just like, oh, I and I would be fine if this was just like a work relationship and stuff like that. Like if y'all was working together and y'all was just like strictly working together, and that's fine. But the fact that there's rumors suggesting that like y'all are dating and that things are very weird because of the fact that like um they're going out to parties together, they're matching outfits and these different type of things. And like that is the weird part. And then Portia blows up on Drew because Drew's not giving the answers. Now, all the other girls, new and old, are looking at the situation very weird because, one, they're kind of surprised at the outburst that Portia has at Drew. But they also kind of get it because Drew is being very kind of weird in this moment. Drew is not only is the matching outfits thing is weird, and like all of the girls agreed upon that except for Drew. Um, Also, the fact that Drew was not giving straightforward answers, and she also was kind of sounding very extra in her responses as well, was kind of giving that she is either in a relationship with Dennis or wanting to have a relationship beyond work with Dennis, and it's giving very weird because of the fact that like at first she's like, oh, like this is a work relationship, instead of just saying like she's dodging the question. Either the producers cut it out for the plot, or she's straight up avoiding saying that she is not sleeping with Dennis. That's weird strike number one. Weird strike number two is the fact that she was like, oh, you know, Dennis is like like my angel sent from the heavens, like my angel on earth. And everyone was looking at that very weird because that is a very strange thing to say about someone who is like your business partner. Um, like obviously it's one thing if like they've completely turned things around for you career wise, especially in music, because music industry is very difficult, especially working with labels and stuff like that. But to say that about somebody who with the optics is your friend's ex is very weird. And your ex's and your friend's ex, your friend and their ex, your business partner, sound it out, um are divorced. Like they're going through a divorce, and they're having to deal with it. Well, they went through the divorce and they've been dealing with it healthily. But your friend is also going through a divorce, so you can tell the emotions are high, and you can tell like the optics. No smart person looks at the optics and it's just like, oh, like if I'm not dating, my friend's ex who I work with, they like you would say. I'll ask you, the audience, if you were working with your friend's ex and rumors were circulating suggesting that you were dating them and you're not dating them and there's no interest in dating them, it's purely business, wouldn't you go out of your way to say we're not dating? Like point blank period, just say that y'all not dating. But that's not what Drew did. Or if she did, it was cut out by the cameras, by the producers. But we'll see how that goes. Um, but that happens. The birthday dinner wraps up with, or party wraps up with them jumping into the pool and having fun for the rest of the night, and that's the dinner. That's the party. The rest of the episode is essentially them kind of going through the aftermath of the birthday party, and you know, the girls talking about it individually and in groups and stuff like that. Because this is again like the part two. So you have Portia and Kenya sitting down at lunch together, talking about it, talking about the recent divorce that Portia is going through with Simon and the context on that. Um, Kenya, I also really enjoyed the fact that like not Kenya, Portia like reflects on her and Kenya's relationship on the show up to this moment, and how they like poke fun and like used the flashbacks for like historic moments, like bye Ashy, which Ashy feet, bye Ashy type moments in which they are very much going at each other, that don't like each other, and they're going tit for tat on the show because they needed a peach, and you know obviously because they were the two girls that the two one of the two girls that was supposed to be leading the chairs this season. Now not anymore because can you ruin that? Now they were playing nice, and I'm not too sure how I feel about like it was nice when I was nice like Portia kind of ending that really nicely and being like, we're old now, so why keep fighting? It was nice of me to see that moment, but seeing them kind of interact, it's cute, but it's giving that like you can tell that it's like they're cordial on the show, and like they're cordial just casually, but they are still trying to like they haven't like established a relationship with each other just yet. Like that's like strong for the show. And I think that if Kenya didn't do what she allegedly did with those photos of Brett, it would have been nice seeing them like build that or like try to work on that so that it was tighter. I feel like Cynthia, again, Cynthia being the friend of the show, I feel like she has done a better job kind of being bringing personality on and working the room with all the girls as well as Portia in a way that's like fairly meaningful. I don't think Kenya and Portia have like really established that yet. Obviously, because there's like they've had history, bad blood, and stuff like that. But knowing that y'all was supposed to be, filming and y'all going to be like the remaining cast members to lead the show, y'all could have y'all could have did a little bit better. Now I know Phaedra's supposed to be back on the show. When is Phaedra? I'm looking for when Phaedra pops up. I'm assuming she gonna be like mid season type reveal, in which they're like, "Ooh, child!" Like I'm kind of excited for when Phaedra pops up because we haven't seen the girl, but we know the girl's supposed to be popping up. And giving what the girls need to give, because Phaedra is that girl, no shade. That lion, Southern Belle, like she is the girl, but she's still not here yet, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. The chat, are we waiting? But anyways, we cut to um damn, what's the girl's name? We then cut to Angela with her family, Charles Oakley and like her daughter and stuff like that. And they're like cooking, they're having banter and stuff like that. They are kind of giving a little bit more of an introduction because we really didn't get too much of them. And like we got some of them in the episode, but we didn't really get to see much of their personality work and like see their family dynamics in episode 1. We get a little bit of taste of that in episode 2. And they're all kind of talking about how the dinner went and stuff like that, how the party went, the drama and stuff like that. And that's really kind of it. Nothing really special happens in this moment. Again, I kind of stand on what I felt about Angela and Charles in this episode that I felt in the previous recap. I feel like they're not like bad on the show, but they aren't really giving like peach worthy housewife. Like they aren't really giving us like anything. Well, okay. I will say one thing. Later in this episode, Angela does kind of give housewife at the end. She kind of gives the glimmer of like that she could keep the peach, but she isn't really like her no shade. because like nothing, no shade to the Oakleys, but it's not interesting. They're not doing anything that's really interesting. There isn't really any like they're missing some sort of spice um to their like dynamics or to their storyline that the housewives usually give, because like I feel like they're too normal, dare I say. Like they're too normal because it's like, oh, like it's very happy family, like basketball wife like connection, stuff like that. Like they're very normal in my opinion. And I feel like the housewives, that's not a good fit for the housewives, because real housewives aren't normal. That's what makes the housewives, because they're not normal. Um then we move on. I think it's Brett and Kelly. Um, is it Brett and Kelly? We cut to Kelly. Let's skip. We cut to Kelly. Um, and Kelly, we cut to Kelly working at opening a new Nana's Chicken and Waffles location, and she's giving context on how there was one, like there used to be, this is the second location. Originally there was two locations, but one of them was shut down as a result of her ex shutting that location down and taking a lot of money, which we find out about later. Um, she's in the building, like being excited, and like her team is literally looking at her like, "Girl, you only have 2 minutes. You only have 30 minutes." Like they're looking at her like, "Girl, the grand opening is supposed to be in a month. There's no way that we're gonna be able to get all this done and get all protocol and stuff done in time." And she's like, "Oh, we got it." Like it's that type of delusional that like I low key like, but I also kind of side eye, because she was like, "Oh, we got it, like we got it," and like, you know what, I fuck with it. You got it, Kelly. We'll see the rest of the season if y'all work this out, which I'm sure y'all do. Um, and then after that we cut to I believe it's Kelly and Brett. They sit down together and um they're talking about, first of all, they bring their, is it Brett? No, because whose dog was Mimosa? But anyways, Kelly, and I'm assuming it's Brett, if I remember correctly. I might be so off. Y'all let me know in the comments if it's Brett or not. This is actually pissing me off a little bit. But Brett and Kelly meet up. Their dogs, Chow Chow and Mimosa, are chilling together. First of all, Chow Chow, which is Kelly's dog, looked a hot ass mess. Chow Chow looked like uh Chow Chow looked like Chop Chop, more like, because it's a chop. It's Chop City for me. Uh Hot as a mess, and that's a dog, mind you. Like that's all actual like dog, like at the animal. No, it's Chop City. Um, but they bring their dogs together, have a little play date, and they're also catching up. They're talking about the dinner. I keep saying the dinner, but it was a party. They keep talking about the party. They are also talking about the um Kelly's divorce. First of all, kind of continues what I'm kind of expecting to happen with this season, in which is going to be new girls versus the old girls. Like the new girls already kind of have, you can tell that the new girls kind of already have like this bond that they have with themselves, and then they're kind of trying to build a bond with the old girls from the older seasons of Real Housewives, but also not really, because they're also trying to fight them to keep their peach, and I don't think that's going to work out well. I think that's just the problem of this rebooted season. I feel like they went too nuclear with the reset, and like brought on too many new girls and not enough old girls to keep the balance. So now it's like you got three to two of like the old girls on there. Well, like four, because you have like what, you have Portia, you have Phaedra when she comes in later in the season, because I'm pretty sure Phaedra's still coming. You have Kenya, who is only here for like a good portion of the season because she had to stop filming because of the controversy, and then you have Cynthia. You have like four of the old girls, and the rest are new girls. One of them, and like Cynthia is a friend of the show. She didn't get a peach, even though she should get a peach, because I feel like she is interesting in this season. Like she's been working and she's still good. She's still eating it in this episode. Um, the new girls are like, you can tell that they're kind of looking at them sideways, because when they're talking about how the dinner went, they're like, oh, like I wasn't expecting Portia to like blow up on Drew like that. Like I thought we were heading over there to have a conversation about like me asking her if like you slept with like why you slept with that girl's husband. Um and then it was like they addressed Kenya and how Kenya was being weird. It was most definitely Brett, because it was like, oh, like the ring thing, and that was Brett that she was trying to clock, and then being put off by that and being uncomfortable by that, and then you have like them even like getting at Cynthia a little bit, and they're like, oh, like, but Cynthia was the one who like started the conversation and was being like, I heard that y'all was being messy. Like, what's this he? And so like they're already kind of feeling that they already kind of feel off about the old girls, and already kind of like coming for them. Now once Phaedra comes on, it's gonna be so entertaining. Like, because Phaedra makes good TV. That's why Bravo, after they fired her off of Real Housewives originally, they've been kind of testing the waters, working her back through other Bravo shows. They had her on Bravo and Peacock's The Traders, and she's been working it on there, and the girls have been enjoying her being on there. And then you have um, Married to Medicine, where the girls have been liking her on Married to Medicine, because she's been one of the few people to really get at the Married to Medicine girls, because the Married to Medicine girls be having their foot up in their ass because they think too highly of themselves. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. Um, but they're catching up about that. They also talk about Kelly's divorce and what led to that, and it is kind of like I felt for Kelly, talking about the divorce, because that man, somebody got to get him, because first of all, that man stole almost $500,000 from that woman from the business. Also, which led to the closure of that one location. There was also they had conversations about DV, and how the talk was domestic in the house, like they was getting at each other physically in the home, and no one deserves to go through that. Really feel bad for Kelly, having to suffer through that, and also having a child who had to possibly witness that stuff go down. Um, but I'm glad that she has her chin up high. She's looking, you know, she's thinking positively about things. She's looking forward to the divorce and how the new era and stuff is going. And I wish her the best. Even though I'm not feeling the girl at moments, I'm still wishing the best for the girl, because that's a tough situation to go through. Um, and then after that, it kind of ends with Drew, Shamia, and Angela going to a gym together, like a little like workout area, a little workout place. Um, they're talking about the dinner. I keep saying the dinner, the party. They keep talking about the party and like how they felt about the situation. Drew's getting emotional because she's talking about how, her divorce, how I'm assuming there was no prenup, and the ex husband is trying to he's trying to take as much as he can take. He's trying to take some of her businesses, she's trying to take some of her income. He's trying to take a lot of stuff from Drew. So Drew was getting emotional because she feels as if a lot is riding on the music. Um and then, Shamia comes, they're talking a little bit. um Angela's trying to clock Shamia, being like, oh, like, you was asking that you really asked that question right at her, and Shamia was like, well, I was not speaking for Portia asking that question, I was speaking for me because I'm curious about the question. And Angela and her go at it. Drew's also trying to go at it a little bit because she's not feeling, being clocked like that. And Shamia then locks up and is like, well, I'm done. Like, I've had my happy endorphins. Now it's time for me to go. Like, yes, enough. Um, I'm still liking Shamia. Like, Shamia's still kind of giving. Out of all the new girls, I feel like Shamia's kind of giving, everything that a Real Housewife needs to give. Like, she's giving wealth, she's giving personality, she's giving drama, she's clocking the tea, she's doing the things that she needs to do to be a housewife. So I think out of all the new girls, she's earning her peach so far. We're only 2 episodes in, but I'm still feeling Shamia as the lead new peach. Um, they made a good decision so far picking her. I will say that. I know some of the other girls don't agree. If you don't agree, let me know or argue with the wall. It's up to you. Um, but Drew was after that. Like they have confessionals, and Drew is calling like Drew called Shamia a lapdog to Portia, which is crazy. Um, because like this really shouldn't be that much of an issue. Like I guess it's I know it's being pushed up for TV, but Drew is literally acting like this is the craziest reaction in the world when Drew is literally like failing to straight up acknowledge whether she is sleeping with that man or not, or like if there's any interest romantically in Dennis. And again, it's very weird how she's moving with this instead of like, like following the girls' code and just being like normal in how you address this and normal in how you move around this. Like, it's already weird that you're working with somebody's ex, your friend's ex, mind you, but you're not shutting the rumors down is also very weird. Episode after that ends with Portia hanging out with like playing with her child, which is really adorable. Yeah, I really love their dynamic. I'm glad that her daughter makes like Portia's daughter makes her happy. Like you see that in that scene and throughout the scenes in which they're like together. It's just really sweet. Dennis pulls up and the producers knew what they was doing, like teasing him because they was only showing his feet, him getting ready to go to this place to go play with, Portia and his kid, their kid, and then revealing that it's Dennis soccer, and at first Portia is like, oh, you know, Dennis and I have been doing a good job like being healthy and like having a very strong relationship with, Pilar. And then the bomb goes off because they're talking about the, what's going on. Like as soon as Dennis sits down, Portia is like, so I gotta know about this you and Drew thing, right? She's already kind of going at it, being like, so like, is there like the way that you're talking about it is completely different than the way that you know Drew's talking about it, because you're talking about it as like it's a strict work relationship. What we're doing is the music stuff like that. We're trying to roll this out, and um, Drew's talking about the fact that like you're like her angel on earth and all that type of stuff. It's very weird, and Dennis is controlling it. Dennis is trying to control it as much as he can, trying to clean it up. He's like, you think I'm sleeping with her? Like, no, like I've been working to make sure this is a working relationship. Like I'm this is how it is. This is how I feel how it is. Um, and Portia is obviously feeling some type of way about it, and also like she's very upset with the fact that Dennis is fine with filming with her, and does not like the optics of that, because again, like you are an ex-husband to a housewife currently on the show, and you are open to filming with another housewife. The optics of that, as Portia said, is not good, and she's very clearly upset about that. She goes to like the bathroom and is crying about the situation. She's upset, and then the episode ends with them driving together in the car, and her clocking the shit out of him, being like, "You need to move accordingly, because what you do with these cameras rolling will reflect how you look at how your daughter will look at you." And I'm like, ooh, she kind of gagged alive a little bit with that. She kind of gathered you. Um, then we get that next episode preview. It seems like much of the same. Now it already looked kind of messy because like you kind of start seeing Kenya also cutting up at Britt a little bit still. Like you're seeing us get to the point that leads to her getting cut from the show. Um, it's like dominoes falling. Like you see it happening. You know it's gonna happen. Now you're just like waiting for it to go. And then it also ends with Drew like popping up in front of Portia and being like, Oh, Portia, I heard you wanted to speak with me. It is so messy when she said when she did that because it sounds like, and I don't watch baddies, but I see the clips on TikTok all the time. It's giving that clip of Sarah pulling up to Natalie Nunn being like, "Oh, Miss Nunn," like it's giving that. But that was my thoughts on episode 2 of Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16. Overall, it's giving much the same. I'm not too sure how I'm feeling about it now, cause like at first I'm like I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. Now I'm kind of like starting to agree with the girls who are like not too sure if I'm watching Real Housewives, Basketball Wives, or like this because it's giving like or like Love and Hip Hop Atlanta because it's kind of giving that. It's kind of giving that like the identity of Real Housewives is like disappearing a little bit with the show structure. Like it's still kind of present, but it's also off. If that makes sense. Um, but I'm still gonna wait and see how this season goes. I'm gonna be planning on doing recaps for the show, even through the reunion. I might do a live show of the reunion to give y'all a reaction. I don't know how y'all feel about that. Would y'all like to see me do the Cake Radio Show live? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hope y'all enjoyed this recap of the Real Housewives. Let me know what you thought about the episode in the comments below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube where you get episodes before anyone else. And did you know that this podcast is available on all major podcast platforms? That's right. You can listen to the Cake Radio Show anywhere, including Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, iHeartRadio, what have you. We're there. Just search for Cake Radio by CakeDive, and we're there. All right, that's it for me. I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye bye.